Gotta love Spike there. Knicks Pacers, one of the best rivalries it has been, especially last season. I'm bummed we're not going to be able to see it at full health, full fruition this year. But before we take a look at Tyrese Haliburton back on the floor, is there another rivalry, Dave, that you think is the best in the NBA right now? Because that one could be it again when they're back and healthy.
Oh, we started this segment talking about the new physique of Steph Curry and LeBron James. It's simple. They are the two monolithic figures in today's game. 4 straight finals appearances about a decade ago. Anyone who tuned into Christmas Day last year can recognize they still make it must-see TV. And their rivalry is not a renewable resource. There's a limited amount of opportunities that we have left to see these two guys still battle it out. And so anytime the Warriors and Lakers are playing, you got to tune in. That's the best rivalry in today's NBA.
I mean, look, it's not even the best rivalry with the Lakers. Forget Steph's new physique. Steph's been in shape his whole career. Let's talk about Luka's new physique. Did you see the men's health cover? Did you see that snug sweater he was wearing the other day? Looked all sleek. Luka against the Mavericks.
Sweater, okay.
And it was a nice sweater.
I thought the rivalry was going to be Luka versus sweater. It's Luka versus
No. The sweater and Luka are on the same page. Him and the Mavericks clearly were not. Him and Nico Harrison clearly were not. And look, the Mavericks are coming out here the day after Thanksgiving. The Lakers will be in Dallas in late January for the first time. And you remember when Luka went back last year? He lit him up something fierce. Standing ovation when he checked out, going right into fired Nico chants. It's a rivalry, but Mavericks fans are more on Luka's side than the home team.
What about the rivalry of the future? Because anytime you have the Spider-Man meme, right, going at you, it's good. I'm talking about Victor Wembanyama and Chet Holmgren.
I love it.
That is the rivalry of the future. And I love it because they mimic each other in frame. They still got major game. I'm dropping some bars. But more importantly, these are guys that respectfully have animosity toward each other when they touch the floor. And it's not just domestically here in the NBA. It's also internationally. We can see this play out for Team USA versus Team France for the years to come. So I know that there are currently great rivalries with amazing generational stars, but the next ones are lined up, and I'm excited to see what they do.
Yeah, the rivalries are in good hands with these two, because in all of the friendly at times of the NBA right now, having a little bit of good old-fashioned smoke and competition between those two young stars, especially with how good Oklahoma City as a team is right now, and Victor as an individual player, that's something I'm going to be looking forward to for years to come.
Bronny James zeroes in on key area for growth after promising summer league stretch. After a slow start to the summer, Bronny James has turned his focus to developing a key area of his game, his ball handling and on-ball decision-making, following a mixed but encouraging summer league run with the Los Angeles Lakers. The 2025 off-season began quietly for the rookie guard, who missed the California Classic opener due to health issues stemming from a prior heart condition. Understandably, the Lakers took a cautious approach with his minutes early on. But as the games progressed, so did Bronny. By the time the Las Vegas Summer League rolled around, Bronny was beginning to show flashes of the player the Lakers hoped he could become. His conditioning improved, his confidence grew, and he started to look more comfortable attacking the basket and creating offense. He even unveiled a more fluid, reliable jump shot, a sign of the work he's been putting in behind the scenes. But perhaps the most significant development was the Lakers' decision to give him extended opportunities as a primary ball handler. While the results were mixed, with some struggles in decision-making and turnovers, it was an important step in his progression. And Bronny knows exactly where the focus needs to be moving forward. "I'm continuing to work on my game with the ball in my hands," he told Lakers.com's Mike Trudell. "Everything off the ball will flow naturally. But if I can stay confident bringing the ball up, knowing my role, and being able to play as a true guard when needed, I think I'll be just fine. I don't have any issue playing off the ball when that's needed. I actually enjoy that role too. But getting consistent reps with the ball is big for my development." Finding his fit in the Lakers system. Bronny projects more naturally as a combo guard, someone who can thrive off the ball, cut sharply, defend actively, and make smart reads. But the Lakers are wisely using this developmental window to expand his comfort zone, giving him reps in live action as a secondary playmaker and on-ball initiator. His progress late in the G League season with the South Bay Lakers gave the organization a glimpse of his potential. With more touches and more responsibility, Bronny began to find a rhythm, and that confidence translated into his summer league appearances. Now, the question becomes how he fits into J.J. Redick's regular season rotation. While the Lakers' off-season roster moves have created competition across the board, there's growing optimism that Bronny could carve out a role, especially with assistant coach Nate McMillan reportedly advocating for him to see court time. Nothing is guaranteed. But Bronny has already proven that he belongs in the NBA conversation. He's coachable, competitive, and fully aware of the areas where he still needs to grow. A glimpse of what's possible. Although Bronny didn't log heavy minutes during the 2024-25 NBA regular season, he made the most of the moments he did get. One performance in particular stood out, a March matchup against the Milwaukee Bucks. With the Lakers shorthanded, Bronny saw extended run and responded with his best game yet, 17 points, 3 rebounds, and 5 assists. Reflecting on his rookie year, Bronny pointed to that night as a personal high point, not just because of the numbers, but because it showed him and the coaching staff that he could step up when called upon. There's still a long road ahead. But Bronny James isn't trying to skip steps. He's embracing the grind, focusing on what he can control, and doing the work to grow into a player who can impact games on both ends of the floor. If his trajectory continues upward, the Lakers, and the league, might just be witnessing the early stages of something far bigger than a famous last name. Confidence building, one game at a time. For Bronny James, the March game against Milwaukee wasn't just a standout performance on the stat sheet, it was a psychological turning point. On a big stage, against a playoff-caliber opponent, he stepped in without hesitation and played with poise well beyond his years. It was the kind of moment that earns a young player respect in the locker room, and a second look from the coaching staff. That game also reinforced what scouts had long believed. Bronny's feel for the game is real. His basketball IQ, defensive instincts, and ability to stay composed under pressure are not typical for a rookie, let alone one who came into the league under immense public scrutiny and with limited college experience due to health setbacks. But it's not just about one game. It's about how he responded to it. Rather than celebrate or coast on the attention that followed, Bronny has quietly gone back to work, locking in on the areas that still need refinement and using every opportunity this offseason to grow. Summer League as a launch pad, not a verdict. The 2025 Summer League gave Bronny the controlled reps he needed. It also gave the Lakers more clarity on what they have in him, not just a player with potential, but one with discipline and patience. That matters, especially for a team that's recalibrating under a new coaching staff and reimagining its rotation. J.J. Redick, now heading into his first full season as head coach, has spoken openly about valuing basketball intelligence, defensive accountability, and unselfish play, 3 traits Bronny already shows in spurts. While Redick hasn't made any public guarantees regarding Bronny's role, there's a growing sense that the rookie could be trusted with select minutes if he continues to trend upward during training camp and preseason. Assistant coach Nate McMillan, known for his player development work with young guards, has been hands-on in Bronny's progression. According to internal reports, McMillan has been impressed with Bronny's defensive motor and willingness to take feedback, especially in film sessions where small reads and spacing adjustments are crucial. A name that draws attention, a work ethic that commands respect. Being the son of LeBron James brings both opportunity and scrutiny. Every move Bronny makes, every mistake, every highlight, is magnified. But what's become increasingly clear is that Bronny is carving out his own path, not trying to replicate someone else's. He's not seeking headlines. He's seeking minutes. He's not performing for cameras. He's performing for coaches. And that distinction is starting to be felt within the Lakers organization. Multiple veterans have noted Bronny's quiet maturity and his ability to stay in his lane, a phrase often used in NBA locker rooms to describe rookies who understand their role, put in the work, and don't try to force themselves into the spotlight before they're ready. The road ahead, training camp, preseason, and earning trust. Looking ahead, the next 2 months are pivotal. With training camp around the corner, Bronny will have another chance to show how much he's improved since Las Vegas. Preseason games could offer more extended minutes, especially if veterans are rested, and those moments will be critical for building trust with Redick and the coaching staff. The Lakers don't need Bronny to be a star right now. They need him to be solid, smart, and situationally aware, a young guard who can give them reliable energy off the bench, defend at a high level, and make the right decisions in limited minutes. And if he continues to develop his ball handling and playmaking, there's reason to believe his role could grow sooner than expected. 2024-25 Los Angeles Lakers Player Review, LeBron James. Entering his 22nd NBA season, there was no shortage of speculation. Would this finally be the year LeBron James starts to show his age? Instead, the 40-year-old silenced the doubters once again, playing in more games than he had since 2018, earning All-NBA second-team honors, and finishing 6th in MVP voting. If anything, he only strengthened his case as one of the most remarkable athletes in sports history. But this season wasn't just about longevity. It was about transformation. Midway through the season, the Lakers made a bold franchise-altering move, trading for Luka Dončić in a blockbuster deal that sent Anthony Davis the other way. The entire team dynamic shifted, and so did LeBron's role. What could have been a disruption turned into another showcase of James' adaptability and leadership. Having already started to embrace a more off-ball role earlier in the season, LeBron leaned even further into it as Dončić took control of the offense. But with Davis gone, the team also lost its defensive anchor, so LeBron stepped in again, taking on more responsibilities as the on-court defensive communicator and often finding himself anchoring small ball lineups as a makeshift center. And he didn't just hold his own, he excelled. Whether battling for rebounds, guarding the paint, or spacing the floor with his best three-point shooting season in years, LeBron continued to defy every expectation. Over 70 games, he averaged 24.4 points, 7.8 rebounds, and 8.2 assists per game while shooting 51.6% from the field, 37.6% from beyond the arc, and a career-high 78.2% from the free throw line. Those numbers would be impressive for any All-Star. For someone in his 22nd season, they're unheard of. 2024-25 highlight moment. With the Dončić trade still pending and Anthony Davis already sitting out, the Lakers arrived in Madison Square Garden with a short-handed roster, and LeBron James completely took over. He delivered a vintage performance, notching 33 points, 11 rebounds, and 12 assists in a statement win over the New York Knicks. Just hours later, the trade became official, and the team officially began a new era. LeBron followed that up with 26 points, 8 boards, 9 assists, and 3 steals in a 25-point rout of the Clippers in the first game of the post-Davis era. Then came the showdown against longtime rival Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors. On that night, LeBron was simply unstoppable, 42 points and 17 rebounds, both season highs, along with 8 assists. It was a performance for the ages, making James the first player in NBA history over the age of 40 to score 40 points in a game. And he did it with energy, efficiency, and command. It wasn't just a highlight of his season. It was another chapter in a legacy that continues to grow. 2025-26 outlook. By now, the question is no longer can LeBron keep doing this. He's answered that repeatedly. The real question is how much longer he wants to do it. This upcoming season marks the final year of his contract with the Lakers, and for the first time in his career, he's not the primary focal point of his team. That role now belongs to Luka Dončić, and LeBron seems content embracing a more complementary role, though his presence still shapes everything the Lakers do. The goal hasn't changed: win a championship. But the context has. Every decision LeBron makes, every game he plays, and every moment on and off the court will be viewed with one eye on the future. Could this be his final season in Los Angeles? Could it be the final chapter of one of the greatest careers in NBA history? No one knows for sure. But if this past season proved anything, it's that LeBron James still has plenty left. Not just in his body, but in his mind, in his will to compete, and in his ability to evolve. 2024-25 Los Angeles Lakers Player Review, LeBron James. Heading into his 22nd NBA season, questions surrounded LeBron James. Would this be the year he finally started to slow down? Instead, he delivered one of his most impressive campaigns in recent memory, appearing in more games than any season since 2018, earning All-NBA second-team honors, and finishing 6th in MVP voting. But the season didn't unfold in a typical way. Midway through, the Lakers made a bold move, acquiring Luka Dončić in a trade that sent Anthony Davis elsewhere. The shift meant a major role adjustment for LeBron, who had already begun playing more off the ball earlier in the year. With Dončić taking the reins offensively, James adapted quickly, becoming more of a secondary playmaker while increasing his defensive responsibilities in Davis's absence. What followed was one of the most versatile seasons of his career. LeBron played significant minutes at center in small ball lineups, took on a vocal leadership role on the defensive end, and was one of the Lakers' most reliable shooters, especially from beyond the arc. Over 70 games, he averaged 24.4 points, 7.8 rebounds, and 8.2 assists per game, while shooting over 51% from the field and nearly 38% from three-point range. He also hit a career-high 78.2% from the free throw line. 2024-25 season highlights. When Dončić joined the team, he was still recovering from an injury. That left LeBron as the main force keeping the Lakers stable during a transitional period. With Davis already sidelined, LeBron delivered one of his most memorable performances of the season at Madison Square Garden. 33 points, 11 rebounds, and 12 assists in a statement win over the Knicks. He followed that with another dominant outing against the Clippers, and later recorded a season-high 42 points and 17 rebounds in a win over the Golden State Warriors. At 40 years old, he became the first player in league history to score 40 points in a game at that age, adding another remarkable milestone to an already historic career. 2025-26 outlook. Now entering the final year of his current contract, LeBron faces a new chapter. For the first time in his career, he's not the primary engine of his team. Dončić holds that role. Yet, LeBron's influence remains enormous, both on and off the court. There are still questions about what comes next. While he remains capable of elite performances, this season could mark his final run with the Lakers. The organization will need to find the right balance between developing around Dončić and maximizing what LeBron still brings to the table. As always, LeBron's focus will be on winning. And while no one can predict exactly how much longer he'll play, one thing is clear: he continues to defy expectations and redefine what longevity looks like in professional sports. Luka Dončić still unsure if he'll ever find closure with the Mavericks. Luka Dončić has never hidden how deeply hurt and blindsided he felt when he was traded from the Dallas Mavericks to the Los Angeles Lakers. While he's now embraced life in LA, even signing a max contract extension this summer, Dallas was home. He had envisioned spending his entire career in a Mavericks jersey. That sudden, unexpected trade shook him to the core. And the passionate reaction from Mavs fans only added to the emotional weight. So when Dončić returned to Dallas for the first time as a Laker, the moment was more than just a regular season game. It was one of the most anticipated matchups of the year. A tearful tribute video before tip-off set the tone for a night that saw Luka pour in a season-high 45 points in a dominant performance that led the Lakers to victory. According to the Mavericks, the decision to move on stemmed from concerns about Luka's consistency and work ethic, claims that still sting. The tension between the two sides hasn't completely faded, and as Luka recently told Jason Gay of the Wall Street Journal, he's not sure it ever will. "I think it'll always be weird," Dončić said. "I don't know if I'll ever get closure. Honestly, it'll probably always feel strange." The trade was personal. Luka truly believed he'd spend his entire career in Dallas. That belief, and the bond he built with the city and its fans, was suddenly stripped away, with no real warning, and without a satisfying explanation. Despite all he gave to the franchise, it felt like his connection to Dallas was cast aside overnight. But while one door closed, another opened, and Luka has been embraced wholeheartedly by the Lakers organization and their global fan base. Many now see him as the face of the future in LA, the next superstar poised to lead the franchise to multiple NBA championships. He may not get to write the ending he once dreamed of in Dallas, but he now has the opportunity to build a legacy with the most iconic team in basketball. Even NBA Commissioner Adam Silver publicly praised Dončić for how he handled the emotional trade, commending his openness and honesty throughout the process. It's clear the move meant more than just basketball, and Luka never pretended otherwise. Dončić's emotional return to Dallas wasn't just significant for him, it reignited conversations around player loyalty, front office transparency, and the evolving business-first mentality of the NBA. Fans who once saw Luka as the heart and soul of the Mavericks were left conflicted. Some cheered his return, others voiced frustration, not at Luka, but at the organization for what they saw as a betrayal of trust. In post-game interviews, Dončić remained composed, though clearly affected. He didn't speak harshly about the Mavericks, nor did he attempt to rewrite history. But he did subtly acknowledge the pain. "I gave everything I had to that city. I wish things had ended differently," he said. Around the league, players and former teammates responded to the trade with a mix of shock and empathy. Several current NBA stars took to interviews and podcasts to express their disbelief that a franchise would let go of a generational talent in his prime. "You don't trade a player like Luka," one veteran said anonymously. "You build around him." The Mavericks, meanwhile, have remained relatively quiet, standing by their original reasoning: concerns over team dynamics, Luka's conditioning, and long-term cohesion. But the silence has done little to ease the tension. Many analysts have questioned whether Dallas truly exhausted all options before making such a drastic move. As for the Lakers, Dončić's presence has already made an undeniable impact. His chemistry with the roster is developing quickly, and his leadership on the floor has drawn praise from coaches and analysts alike. But it's clear that even as he puts up MVP-caliber numbers in Los Angeles, part of Luka remains emotionally tethered to what was left behind in Dallas. When asked if he could ever see himself reconciling with the Mavericks organization, Dončić paused before answering. "Time changes things," he said, "but some things stay with you." It's a reminder that behind the trades, statistics, and highlight reels, players are human. They build lives in cities. They form bonds with fans. And when those connections are severed abruptly, the wounds don't always heal with time or success. Whether Luka ever finds full closure is uncertain. But one thing is clear: the way his departure from Dallas unfolded will be remembered as one of the most emotional and polarizing moments in recent NBA history.